Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zang here, and I'm finally back with another VGC 14 video for you all. Now, I know this whole summer I've kind of been on and off with uploading videos, mainly because I've been super busy in real life, but I decided I finally want to get more committed to YouTube. I want to be posting content on at least a daily basis, if not maybe 4 or 5 videos a week, but I definitely want to get more stuff out to you guys. Really, it's just a case of being motivated, and you guys have shown continual support, so thank you all for that. It's really on my end to produce the content for you all. As always, if you do show your support for the videos in the series, it definitely means a lot. Leaving a like on the videos is by far the best way, but your comments help a lot as well. As always, 500 likes is the goal for daily uploads, but I'll be doing my best regardless of whether you guys hit the like requirement or not, just to keep you guys entertained. You guys definitely deserve a lot of VGC content, and Worlds is next month, so what better way to get you hyped up than uploading daily videos? Anyway, before I start today's video, I also wanted to make one last announcement. I recently created a Facebook page for myself, a public page, at facebook.com/cybertronvgc. It's by far the best way to keep you guys updated. That's not Twitter, and it's also a great way to chat with me there. I hate YouTube inbox. Twitter is kind of clunky as well, but Facebook keeps all the messages organized. I've had a public or a personal profile for about forever, but this is definitely a better way for me to interact with you all. So leave a like there. I'll leave the link in the description below. It's a great way to chat with me. I'll try my best to respond to every message in my inbox, and in the future I'll be taking battle requests, most likely after Worlds, so it'll be another good way to chat with me there. So definitely check that out. But yeah, let's get into today's battle. So this is the team I brought to the International Challenge. The last battle video I uploaded was also from it, and it's the team I brought to Nationals, which I'll also be uploading my report on very soon. You see Gardevoir, Pyro, Garchomp, and Mega Lucario. My opponent Riley is running Aegislash, Salamence, Amoonguss, and Tyranitar, so without spoiling much more, let's get into the battle. Now, one thing you should know about this team is it's very offensive, as you can see, but as a result, it suffers from getting quickly KO'd by opposing Pokemon if you don't play well enough. So for example, I have Pyro to specifically beat Amoonguss and Aegislash since they're common in VGC, but Tyranitar is one of the most annoying Pokemon really to deal with. I don't want to deal with that. So I lead with Gardevoir and Pyro against his Amoonguss and Tyranitar. Not the best lead matchup here for me, because obviously Tyranitar is not a fun Pokemon to deal with. On the first turn, I say to myself that Amoonguss is most definitely not going to stay in or just get KO'd by an Overkey or a Psychic, Amoonguss has a terrible matchup against both my Pokemon, so I'm really anticipating a Protect or a Switch there. So I say to myself, alright, if he Spores, then I'll take the chances of that, but the chances of that happening are obviously just very low. So I decide to just go for the Moonblast onto Tyranitar. I also switch in Garchomp because I know if he Spores the Pyro slot, I do have the Lumberry to wake up. First turn plays out perfectly. Tyranitar goes for a Dragon Dance, which I'm really okay with. My Gardevoir is able to get that Specs Moonblast off. Unfortunately, not going to be able to KO Tyranitar, but does 90%, enough for Garchomp to either knock it out with a Rock Slide or Earthquake. So first turn couldn't have gone any better for me. Now the second turn, I say to myself, okay, I do have the Lumberry on Garchomp, so if he stays in, I can just Rock Slide and Moonblast. I get the flinch chance on Amoonguss. He's not going to be able to KO either of my Pokemon with Tyranitar, and if he flinches, that's great. If he Spores my Garchomp, then I'm perfectly fine. So I go for the Rock Slide and the Moonblast, mainly because I don't want to switch out my Gardevoir. He switches in Salamence, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. I considered the possibility of that, because of course Intimidate's always good against Garchomp, and you wouldn't expect the Moonblast onto an Amoonguss, but that's exactly what I do. I do knock out the Salamence in one hit, and that's really, really big. Salamence is another Pokemon that threatens Pyroar, and getting that out the way is really good. As long as I knock out this Tyranitar now, Pyro can actually just finish off the game, because I'm assuming Aegislash is in the back. So he brings in Amoonguss again, and Tyranitar is going to go for a Rock Slide, but my Gardevoir is pretty bulky, so it can take that +1 Rock Slide with no issue. My Garchomp here actually goes for the Earthquake. I don't want to miss any Rock Slides. I'm not even sure if the Rock Slide could have KO'd Tyranitar because I was intimidated. Gardevoir is actually going to hang out with 4 HP because I was intimidated. Now, I don't run Telepathy, I run Trace, which I'm perfectly okay with. And I do get a Moonblast off onto that Amoonguss. Obviously not going to do very much because it resists it, but decreases the special attack, which is always fun. Not going to matter much at this point, but I'll take it. And he goes for the Spore into Garchomp, which I'm perfectly fine with because, as you know, my Garchomp is carrying that helpful Lumberry, excuse me. So I'm going to wake up from that Spore, and I'm in a phenomenal position now. 3-2, and I have Pyro in the back to lock up the game, essentially. So, one difficult thing about this team was definitely predicting the opponent. I mean, if you predict your opponent properly, you basically win because you have so much offense on your side. That's exactly what happened. The first 2 turns played out perfectly for me. I was able to knock out my threats to Pyro. Pyro was able to come in and finish the game. game's still not necessarily over because, of course, he could spore the Pyroar, which would be really bad. So I say to myself, there's no way that Aegislash is going to attack this turn. So I decide to just go for the Hyper Voice and the Dragon Claw into Amoonguss. Don't want to overheat because, of course, it can miss. There's no need. I can just Dragon Claw here. Of course, could have just HP Ice the Amoonguss as well, but I knew Hyper Voice would do the trick anyway, and that's going to knock out Amoonguss. I guess the only really bad play that could have happened there was if he protected the Amoonguss and, say, had Sacred Sword and Life Orb on that Aegislash, which is kind of gaining popularity, so there's a play that definitely could have happened, but to me it seemed more likely that he would just go for the Spore with the Amoonguss, which is presumably what he did. So I'm just going to switch out Garchomp here to get rid of the -1 drop from Intimidate, just in case Overheat misses, but Overheat's going to connect here, and I'm going to win the game pretty decisively, 3 out. So I'd say how I play the first 2 turns, the predictions in the beginning really helped me out a lot. Predicting the Amoonguss protect, making the safest play possible, and nailing in the Salamence and the switch in really just helped me win the game pretty much from the beginning. So, yeah, that was the thing with this team. It was heavy offense. If you played your opponent, if you predicted them correctly, you would win. Oftentimes, you know, my opponent obviously could have just made some plays and it could have gone completely differently. Say if you just spored with the Amoonguss on the first turn, or protected Tyranitar. But that was kind of the point of the team, just beat your opponent down very quickly, and that's what happened in this game. So, if you guys enjoyed that battle, of course, leave a like if you did. 500 likes is a requirement for daily uploads, like I mentioned earlier on, but I'll be doing my best to upload regularly regardless. And definitely check out my Facebook page at facebook.com/CybertronVGC. Anyway, that's it for today's battle, guys. I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.